Again, if you want to get involved with this chess, it's Louisville Urban League and Youth Department. And Corbin Seavers is the senior coach of the West Louisville Chess Club.
That's correct.
Good evening and welcome to the rest of the news. We have a very special program today and a special guest. It's Corbin Seavers, and he's the senior coach of the West Louisville Chess Club. Is that right?
That's correct.
And tell us a little bit about yourself and this chess club.
Well, as far as my involvement in chess is concerned, it dates back to, I guess you'd say officially back to September 2010. That's when that summer of 2010, I did a summer chess camp for Dr. Anthony Middleton at Cable Baptist Church. I taught chess to about 13, 14 West Louisville youth. And then in September, Dr. Middleton called me into his office and said, Corbin, I want to show you something. He showed me several letters that he received from parents saying that they absolutely loved the chess instruction.
Really?
They felt that their sons and grandchildren and others gained a lot from it. And so Dr. Middleton said, well, you think you can do this on a full-time basis year-round? And it was really something for him to say that to me because that was a dream I had always had.
Really?
On a full-time basis, yes. I wanted to model my chess program after the program in Manhattan called Chess in the Schools. So I told him yes, and then the rest is history. I've been doing it on a part-time basis for about a year. And then after that first year, I went into it on a full-time basis. So I guess you might say right now I'm a professional chess coach and tournament organizer and summer camp director.
So that's how you got started in this.
Right. And then what had happened was that, the business has grown. I now do after-school chess programs at several public schools.
Really?
Yeah, I've been doing my own summer chess camps, and I also do summer chess camps for schools.
Uh-huh.
This past year has really been good for me because there's one department out of the Board of Education who said, hey, we want to use you as much as possible, right? So my business almost sort of doubled because not only was I getting business from the schools, but I was also getting business from this particular department of the Board of Education. And then I was at a Board of Education meeting, and I was just sort of casually going through the audience, and then the president of the Louisville Urban League said, aren't you Corbin? I said, yes, ma'am, I am. She introduced herself to me, and then she sort of grabbed me, and she said, I want you to start teaching chess through the Louisville Urban League.
Oh, really? In
Right.
addition to the schools and the church?
To the schools and other things, yeah, yes. And so I did a couple of what they call family chess nights with them. And they really enjoyed it. They got great feedback from it.
Really?
So that's when they said, well, now we want you to do an all-girls summer chess camp, and we want you to do other things with us as well.
Yeah.
So I'd made a suggestion to them that maybe one thing would be nice if we did the West Louisville Chess Club. Of course, a lot of the youth in West Louisville really don't have the opportunity to participate in the sport of tournament chess. Most of the organizers in Louisville do their things in East Louisville, out around Ballard and things of those areas. So it makes it somewhat inaccessible for West Louisville youth. So, the Louisville Urban League is right there at 1535 West Broadway. Very convenient, it's just Broadway up and down.
You do some of your actual playing chess.
Right. So the Louisville Urban League said, called me in this past May 2016 and said, yes, we want to do that, and we're going to appoint you as the senior recruiter and the senior coach for it. So in addition to the other things, I also senior coach for the West Louisville Chess Club.
Yeah, yeah. Well, tell me now, what motivated you to get into this?
There was my initial motivation was my daughter. I had began to pick up, saw how young ladies are often discouraged from getting to the hard, what I call the hard sciences, math and the hard sciences. And so I didn't want her to sort of become what I would consider characterized as a victim of that. So I bumped into an old college friend of mine, Steve Dillard. And Steve said, Corbin, you need to get her into chess. And I said, well, why? Well, you see, Steve at the time was a public school teacher. He taught math. And he said, and he also was a major chess organizer here in Louisville, actually nationally.
Really?
Yeah, national chess organizer. I mean, this guy he's known throughout the country. And he said, Corbin, whenever I would get the math results, he said some of the top chess players would be amongst them. So he felt that the chess was reinforcing the math and the math was reinforcing the chess.
Really?
Yes. And there have been some studies who back that up. Some studies up in Illinois and other places. So I said, little girl, you're going to learn chess. So I taught her chess at age 6.
At age 6?
6, yeah. And then 1 year later, she started, really actually sooner than that, but she started participating in tournaments, weekly tournaments against adults and people her age. And then it just grew from there to about around 2014. She was ranked number 15 out of the top 200 registered female chess players in the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
And it helped? Did it seem to help her math?
Well, put it to you this way. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said it. You know, in the interviews she's done, she said, yes, it helped my math and helped with my concentration and my discipline. I also noticed it helped with her confidence and her esteem.
Okay.
Because initially when she would be at the tournaments, she'd always want me to come sit by her. Come sit by me, Daddy. And I'd tell her, no, I can't do it. A year or two later, that kid'd be off and running. Forget you, Dad, I'd be back after the game. She'd just be gone. She had no fear of anybody, young or old, black or white, male or female. Over the 64 squares, she would go after you.
Yeah.
So it really boosted her esteem and her confidence. So that was I guess you might say, the personal reason why I did it.
Does chess, in fact, benefit young people?
I've seen a lot of anecdotal evidence where it does.
How is that? Like self-confidence and things?
Yeah, self-confidence, esteem. A lot of the students have told me, like I do the chess program at Nativity Academy, Catholic school, middle school, Catholic school. And in one of my team was interviewed by the Courier-Journal. And he interviewed like 3 or 4 students, and 2 of my best students said, yeah, it has helped me with my math. You know.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it was. What really got me is like I didn't know what it was doing for them until I read the article. And so later I followed up with them and said, is this true? She said, yeah, Coach, it is true. So, I've got a lot of anecdotal evidence for it. And but, it also helps in teaching sportsmanship, teamwork.
Yeah.
Things you're going to need.
Don't blow your top.
Yeah, right, exactly. And don't be just quitting because you lost. Hang in there.
Exactly.
We're not going to exceed at everything. We're not going to.
It's sort of like life in general.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Is everything into the West Louisville Chess Club?
What do you mean?
Well, in other words, all your work?
No.
There are other things, too.
Yes, there are other things as well. I do my own.
Like the schools.
Right, like the schools, and then working with the Diversity, Equity, and Poverty program with the Board of Education. And I do my own tournaments. I have my own tournament league. I have my own summer camps. In fact,
really?
This past summer, I did several. And one of the most successful ones was held at Boyce College. It was very good. And I've been doing summer camps at Boyce College for the past 3 years. And every year they've grown.
Really?
Yes, every year they've grown. I've got more students. And this coming year, next summer, I'm really going to make it big because the feedback is 100% positive.
Really?
Parents like it. The students like it. It's great.
Well, now, if somebody is listening to the program and was interested, how could they get a hold of you?
Well, they should go to my website, get my contact information there, which is hfschessmarketing.com.
Wait a minute now, H?
HFS.
F.
S. Chessmarketing.com.
Chess?
Marketing.com and get me there. And of course, they can go to their search engine and put in the Louisville Urban League. And they can contact the Louisville Urban League if they're interested in either having their son or daughter be part of the chess club there, or if they're interested in making a financial donation.
Now, what's HFS?
That's my father's initials.
Your father's initials.
My father taught me chess when I was about 12 or 13.
Really?
So then I taught my daughter chess at 6.
Yeah.
So she's a third-generation chess player.
Okay, okay.
And she's better than her father and her grandfather.
She is?
Much better. Oh, yes. Yeah. She's much better.
Well, now, when you go to play chess, do you have a plan how you're going to do it?
Yeah. It takes a little while to explain everything, but yes, basically. How you might approach this particular game against this particular person. Yeah. I had one of my students at an elementary school. He's really good. He's one of my top students, and unfortunately just graduated to 6th grade. But this is one thing about how important it is to have a coach. There were things that he does I was picking up on. He would record his games and then give me his recordings, and I would review them. Then I'd watch him when he played the other people. And then I said to him, you're too dependent upon the queen. You're too dependent upon the queen. You got to develop your other pieces in the attack against your opponent. Well, he didn't listen to me. So when I was playing him, he was giving me a run for my money. And then I made the decision I'm going to exchange queens with him. I got him within 10 moves after that. So I get, he didn't believe old coach in the beginning, but that's just to give you an example how sometimes when you pick up on people's strengths and weaknesses and what they like to do and don't like to do.
Really?
A good way to approach them. Yeah, I have one student, he's really good at killing me with the Queen's Gambit. He plays the Queen's Gambit. He knows he's going to get coached on that. Because I've sort of taught him how to observe and how to think about people's strengths and weaknesses. It's just like in the military. You'd be surprised that you listen to the writings of some of these top generals. They write the memoirs. And they'll talk about, this guy, he has a tendency to do this. This general had a tendency to do that.
So they have a history of the general of different armies. It's like a football game. You would
absolutely
play the movies of how they've what their plays are and how to counter them.
Right. And for the movies, for us as chess players, is the recording of our games. We use algebraic notation to record our games.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, some recorded games go back 400 years. Things that were recorded 400 years ago.
400 years
ago, right. Ruy Lopez, a lot of his games are 400 years ago. Paul Morphy is around the Civil War era. Civil War era.
Really?
And we still have the recordings, and we still study from them. I do it in my classes.
Isn't that something?
Right. So those are our game films, I guess you might say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So they're not really filmed, but there's a code kind of
yes.
A shorthand or something.
Right.
Well, are some people just naturally gifted at chess?
I think there are some. It's like some people naturally gifted towards playing the violin, basketball, whatever. Yes, some are, but for the most part, it's something that you really have to hone your skills, develop your skills. You have to study, read books or watch DVDs, and review recorded games. And it's a lifelong learning. It's about lifelong learning. It's not like, okay, well, I'm a doctor now. I don't need to study anymore. No. You gotta keep studying. To keep up with the latest developments and all. Chess is exactly the same way.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, it's exactly the same way. My slogan is, or my mission statement is, it's more than about chess. Our mission is the intellectual empowerment and the character development of West Louisville youth through chess education. That's our mission statement for the West Louisville Chess Club. So we're talking about intellectual empowerment and character development. You don't want smart people who do bad things. You want good, smart people who, good character. They do good
character,
things. Right. Solid character is very important. I really think a lot of times in our political system, we just lack people of character. People who have the courage to do the right thing, regardless of if it's popular or not, or what might happen.
Yeah.
Do the right thing. So.
Well, you brought up this little video.
Okay. All right.
This video, we've offered it before, but this video, I think, is the most important video ever made.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not about chess.
Okay.
It's called PIE, P-I-E. Politics is integrity plus economics.
Mm.
And he goes into wealth, how you make wealth, and how you lose wealth, why some people are good at their business and some people go bankrupt. Some people are good at chess and some people aren't because they don't study, maybe.
Right.
Is that right?
Yes, I definitely get that.
Well, it's all in this, and it goes into the founding of America. He said our rights come from God. And I was listening to another video. He said America is the only country in the world that has it in their written documents that our rights come from God. Mm-hmm. I never knew that. That's kind of amazing.
Right.
Well, it's all in here now. If anybody would like this video, we'll send it to you free. Just call 893-2444, and we'll get that out to you right away. You can call right this minute.
We need as much help as we can, particularly to build the West Louisville Chess Club.
Yeah.
Material donations and financial donations. And so people can obviously, if they put in the search engine Louisville Urban League.
Let me write that down. Louisville
Urban League.
Urban
League. They can go directly, put that in there and call the Louisville Urban League. And
like a Google search for Louisville?
Yes.
Okay, and that would come up with their website.
Their office address, and their phone number.
And they can get a hold of you that way.
Yes, it's probably best if they actually contacted the youth department.
Youth department.
Right, and they'll take whatever messages or answer whatever questions.
Well, you're kind of specializing in youth then, more than old timers like me.
Well, yeah, I mean it's really not so much. I guess it's just circumstance.
Yeah.
Because we do want to encourage adults to get involved in the sport of tournament chess and the sport of team chess. We're definitely open to that. But the young people, when I started this back in 2010, they just really jumped on it.
The young people?
Yeah, they really jumped on it. Several people have said to me, Corbin, I really didn't think that this would be anything that a lot of West Louisville youth would be interested in. And he said, but you proved me wrong.
Isn't that something?
Times. Yeah, I've done that several times. And then I've had people say to me, well, I can't believe that you got all these young girls interested in it. They usually want to do cheerleading or something like that. And I said, well, it's because no one's offered chess to them. No one's properly taught it to them.
Really?
So I'm not saying all the girls are interested, but those who are, once they're introduced to it, say, wow, I like this. They want to jump right on it.
And integrity is involved in.
Yes. I mean, it's, like I always teach my students, one thing I teach them is sportsmanship first.
Uh-huh.
That's
in other words, you don't curse and throw up your hands.
Right. And go in the corner and pout. I've actually had some students who've cried because they've lost a game. And I said to them, that's okay. I don't mind you crying. Let's go to another room and get it out. But don't, as you're crying or you're pouting, start hitting people and stuff like that.
And don't give up.
Right, and don't give up. And I'm telling you, I've had some criers, but they stuck with me. If you really think about it, man, that's a lot of character right there. So a lot of times, as adults, forget it. I'm over. I'm done.
I'm going to take my ball and go home.
That's it. And you don't see them again.
Well, this is really something. I never realized how much is involved in this. Like you say, character and, integrity,
Yes.
and
Yes.
it's like any other sport. You have to be a good sport about things.
You do. And
That's all part of the game.
right. And just like an election, there's going to be a winner, there's going to be a loser. Got to be a good winner, got to be a good loser. So,
I can't believe you said that. That is profound. Let me say this again now. Now, Louisville Urban League, that's something I've heard of and know about.
Mhm.
Louisville Urban League, and then youth department.
Yes.
And then they can get in contact with you
Yes.
to, if they want their children involved, or somebody wants to get their children
Mhm.
enrolled in one of these, they could get a hold of you.
Yeah, they get a hold of me, or they can, if they have some questions, somebody there in the youth department will be able to answer the questions because I'm accountable to them.
I see.
So I give them weekly reports and let them know what's going on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm accountable to the Louisville Urban League. When it comes to the West Louisville Chess Club, I'm accountable to the Louisville Urban League.
Yeah.
And so when people want to make financial donations, they make it payable to the Louisville Urban League so they can get their donation, and then it's accounted for, it's budgeted and all. So at any given time, I'll be able to say this. If someone says, hey, I gave you $100 to buy some chess sets, did you do that? And the answer to the question is yes, because the Louisville Urban League is very strict. Whatever you give us that money for,
accountable.
Right, we have to do it. And we will do it.
Yeah. Well, that's really great. And so there's a lot of fringe benefits from learning chess. And
well, I believe there has been. Again, I've seen it in my own child and other children. I've seen it, and I encourage parents to sign them up and at least let them give it a shot for a year or so. Don't come in and just say, oh, I don't like it, or I lost too many games. And then sometimes young people say, oh, that's boring, I don't want to do that. Now, my daughter confessed to me when I first introduced it to her. She later, again, this is a confession she made like a year or two down the road. She said, Daddy, I did not want to do that. I thought it'd be boring, I wasn't interested. And then, a year later, this kid, I couldn't keep her away. I couldn't keep her away. One year, she purposely went into cash prize tournaments to raise money to buy Christmas gifts for her mother and her big sister.
Really?
Yeah.
And she won enough money?
She won enough money to do that. Yeah.
Wow.
So she went from, it's boring, I don't want to do that, to, wow, I'm going to use chess to help out my mother and my sister and to get them gifts. And then whenever we'd ever do a tournament where we try to raise a little money for a charity, she definitely would participate.
Really?
She really enjoyed doing that kind of stuff. So.
Well, that's terrific. Well, I'm so glad you came. Let's tell them again now. Louisville Urban League.
Yes.
Do a Google search on Louisville Urban League.
Yes.
And then when you get to their website, you go to the youth department.
Youth department. They have their phone number on the website. You can call them, or you can email them. Yes. Louisville Urban League is just a phenomenal organization. We just had the recent president retire, Ben Richmond. We now have a new president, Sadiqa Reynolds. And everywhere I've gone, people just have nothing but glowing things to say about Miss Reynolds.
Uh-huh.
I was in a men's study group at my church, and her name came up, and a police officer and a parole officer said, oh, you know her? She's great. She's amazing.
Really?
And I was like, whoa, yeah. And other attorneys, when her name has come up, very positive. So I'm privileged to be, affiliated with them.
Yeah,
it's really, really privileged to do that. My father used to be a director of the Urban League in Warren, Ohio, years ago.
Oh,
yeah, years ago. So I think he would be, if he was around today, he would be extremely pleased. Here it is. First of all, I taught this little knucklehead how to play chess. And now he's passed it on to his daughter, but also that I'm
a little
doing
knucklehead. That's you?
Well, yeah, and then, yeah. Because, again, I was like my daughter. damn,
Really?
I want to do this. I want to go out and play baseball, and I want to go listen to my records. But it became a lifelong thing for me. It just really,
Well, tell me, what happened to your book club? Are you still into book clubs?
No, I'm not.
This is taken over.
Yeah, pretty much. But I tell you what, it really has, doing this has really pointed to me the importance of reading, and trying to keep up on things.
Because there's a lot of sophistication in the chess games that come from books.
Yes. And it's a lot of information you pick up on reading about chess players, famous chess players like Maurice Ashley, Richard Reddy. I've actually read one of Maurice Ashley's books, Chess for Success. And then later on, I meet him. He's in Louisville. He came to Louisville. University of Louisville brought him in. And when he was in, he said, I want to meet Corbin Seavers. Right. And
How did he know you?
He did it. I think he did a web search and saw what I was doing.
Uh-huh.
So we met. We spent like 2-3 hours together in an event. And then later on, he said, well, I'm going to get to come meet your students, aren't I? And I was stunned. I said, well, yeah, sure, no problem. I was just flipping. It was just a great experience. And he came in and he talked to my students, stayed with my students for a good 2 hours in the evening, just talking to them.
Really?
Now, he's an international grandmaster, which means he's amongst the best of the best of the best in the world.
Corbin, I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about Charity Chess.
CharityChess.com is a website that was designed by some brothers down in Massachusetts. What you do is you pay an annual membership fee of $30 to play other people through their website. And a portion of the profits goes to national charities, to different charities. Now, our relationship with them, the West Louisville Chess Club, is that they will say to us, they encourage us to get our students on there. Our students can do training on there, and they can play one another on there, and students in teams in other states.
Really?
So my kids are really excited. They have the opportunity, here in Louisville, they get to play somebody in Detroit. Here in Louisville, they get to play somebody in L.A.
Really?
They love it. And they can even send comments back and forth to one another. So it's been a great training tool for my students. And it's also just a great experience for them as well, as far as being able
So
to
they
play.
can actually play a game of chess on the internet.
Yes, they do. And trade comments, learn from one another.
Really?
Yes, they do. They call it where we have mentored games. And the mentored games is where the better player will say to the less experienced player, player's not as good as him or her, say, well, next time you may want to consider doing this, or next time you may want to consider doing that. I play my students all the time, play mentored games with them all the time, and it's a great training tool. All throughout the summer, I play all my students.
Really?
That's CharityChess.com. It's a great website. Go to it, folks.
This has been extremely interesting. Well, thanks for watching, and tune in again next week for the rest of the news.